Hello, you guys, and welcome to the Women's Cave, because Winona took it the last time.
Well, I gave it to you kindly for the last couple of weeks. You can't just have some respect. Welcome to the Women's Cave and just let me have it.
No.
That's just wrong. No. Anyway, you guys, she
only gave it to me because I was feeling poorly. And so.
Yeah, she has bronchitis, but she's doing so much better now. I'm so excited.
I feel like victory might be finally here.
Like you actually have brown cheeks instead of brownish black red.
You know?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can't make fun of people when they're sick. My bad. I take that back. Anyway, you guys, we have books.
I'm Jade.
Oh my goodness. And I'm Winona. Thank you for remembering. She's always so professional.
Oh, so I had to laugh real loud on that one because professionalism, that's not something we do here. Our guests bring professionalism.
That's very
We
true.
don't bring professionalism at all. Yeah. Okay, so we have books. And the And I Thought series, And I Thought Divorce Was Bad, which is also available on Audible. So click. Joe Sands did a really great job. I don't know if it's worth your credit, but still, I mean, her job is worth your credit. Our writing, maybe not. We'll see. You know, whatever. Oh, and leave a review. That would be awesome. And I thought being grown up was easy, and I thought I could juggle it all. We couldn't, but we thought so. Anyway.
And then I thought I did my journey alone. It's sold out, as well as And I Thought I Had It All Figured Out. Which, by the way, Hollywood, I still need to be more famous.
She doesn't need to be more
television
famous.
Show.
She'll be horrible. And I Thought He Was the One. Haven't we all been there? And the Misfit Guys, Cocktail Stories, the LBD, and the Misfit Guys, a quick, fast, sassy way to leave quicker footprints.
See, I'm not the only person who gets tongue-tied.
And the 25 hottest indie artists, and advocate magazine. Okay, you guys, buy that digitally. It's $4.50. Go to our website, www.andwethought.com. Click the picture, and then it'll take you to the website to buy it. Or you can buy it in print, which is $35, and you haven't saved a tree, so I'm just saying.
We also have And I Thought the Workbook.
Yeah, all of that you can check out on www.andwethought.com, along with Just Right in Life on Facebook, and
we are done.
We're done.
So, wonderful guest, would you like to introduce yourself? I was going to say interview yourself, which would have been fun.
Introduce yourself. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Lakesa Cox. I am an author, screenwriter from Richmond, Virginia. I write mostly adult fiction. I've written 3 adult fiction novels. I've also written 3 adult fiction anthologies. And I released most recently my first young adult teen novel. And I am now working on a children's book, which will be out next month. So I'm kind of one of those writers who want to write something for everyone. I also working on some screenplays. Hope to have those on the big screen coming to you guys very, very soon.
Oh, wait, how? I'm sorry, my bad. I got all excited.
She was like, the big screen.
I had lost all my professionalism. Yeah. I heard big screen, and I was like, what, how?
Yeah, I had to like set stuff away and get some coffee, but let's just talk about your books, like something for everyone.
Something for everyone.
What inspired you to do that?
Well, I guess because I started off writing adult fiction, of course, and I've always been inspired by the Eric Jerome Dickies and Terry McMillan, Victoria Christopher Murray, Rashonda Tate Billingsley, you know, those writers. So I've always written for an adult audience. But then I remember I've gone to different book signings some years ago, and I had a woman come up to me and she said, well, I don't really read, but my daughter reads a lot. But this stuff she can't really read. So that kind of was like my key into saying, well, you know what? I hate to lose a reader. You know, when someone comes up to me and says, I don't read, but such and such reads, I want to have something for everybody. So when next time somebody says it to me, I want to say, well, here's something for your daughter. Here's something for your little son. You know, I write for everybody. I want something that everybody in the household can read. And that's kind of what happened some years ago that sparked me to say, you know what, I'm going to write a young adult novel, and then I want to write a children's novel. I mean, a children's book.
Okay, so I want to talk food because you live in Richmond, Virginia, and I love that city. I love that city. I love to eat there.
We're known for food.
I'll be there next weekend.
Okay.
In that city, and I just love Richmond, Virginia. So, what are some of the best places that you like to eat there? Yes, you guys, it's totally off of books. We're on eating now.
Well, I'm definitely going to represent some of our Black-owned restaurants. You actually missed it. We had Black Restaurant Week probably about three or 4 weeks ago, and
you had my email address the whole time. You could have sent that to me.
I didn't know, but Mama J's is probably one of the best soul food restaurants in Richmond. It's very well known, and it's actually been on one of those TV shows. Like they stopped here and did an interview with her. But she has some of the best soul food. We also have Croaker Spot. That's another soul food restaurant, but they are more with the fried fish. They're known for their fried fish boats. But we have a lot. Those are like two of my favorites right off the top.
I'll be driving to Richmond, Virginia this weekend because we're going to Williamsburg. So
we're stopping at Mama J's.
Yes, make sure you stop at Mama J's. You got to stop at Mama J's. But we have so many restaurants. It's just hard to even think of a lot of them off the top. And you guys would have enjoyed Restaurant Week because every week one of the restaurants had all different types of discounts, and it was just a nice event for our city.
I want to cry, but it would ruin my makeup.
So we can't cry.
Okay, come visit and come eat.
We will. We do it quite a bit, actually.
Yeah,
it's kind of our vacation town. Like when we want a quick getaway and we just want to chill out, and we go to a place where everybody knows your name.
I don't know. We might get sued for that.
Oh crap! Fee, they're sue us. Anyway, So we just hop into our favorite hotel down in Richmond and we go eat. It's so enjoyable. Anyway, we should probably get back off of that and go back to plugging your work.
Yes, your work. Okay, so your children's book is coming out soon, and you're gonna have some motion pictures.
So I'm currently working on I have some scripts that I've actually completed. I have a couple of meetings set up over the next couple of weeks to talk about doing some indie films with my scripts. So not a whole lot to release on that yet, but just to let you guys know that something is coming, something is brewing with one of my scripts. I plan on, if I can't get like a TV One or a BET to do it, then I found sometimes you got to do it yourself. So I'm going to meet with a couple of people to talk about doing an independent film.
Okay, so how did you jump from writing books to writing scripts?
Well, here's the thing. I've always wanted to write screenplays, but books was always like my first love. I've always read. I've been a reader since I was a kid. So writing books just came more naturally to me. Screenwriting is more of a craft, and I had to kind of go through screenwriting classes, reading the books, taking a lot of courses to actually learn how to write for film, because it's not the same. You can tell a story in a book so much more. It's different. The formatting, the software that you have to use, and when you're writing for film, you can't have the same hat on when you're writing in a book. You have to remove a lot of what you tell in a book, and you have to write for show when you're writing a script. So it was hard to transition, and it's still hard now because I do juggle writing my books and writing for film. You definitely have to take off one hat to put on the other hat, and you have to be very conscious about that, because a lot of book telling, you're doing more descriptions. You have to describe a lot in a book so your reader can see it, whereas in a script, the director, you give the director one or two things, and they're the ones who control what's being seen. So it's hard juggling it, but I enjoy it, and I'm still learning it. I'm not a professional. I'm still learning stuff every day. I do have a mentor who's working with me who lives in Atlanta, and she is great. She has taught me a lot, and I'm hoping that based on the things that she's taught me and she continues to teaches me, that my film will be great.
Oh, it will be. Okay, I have to go here because a lot of times we have people who write books on the show and people who write screenplays. So how was that? Like, you in your head, you go, I see the whole scene, and in a book, you just write it down. But like if you want part of that scene to actually force the director's hand to put it in, you got to have them say something about it and not seem ridiculous.
Right.
So how many times did you come across and be like, but I want it there, but I don't need it. But I want it there.
And that's the thing. You can't, there's a fine line between what you want as the writer and what the director wants, because directors don't like you telling them what to do as the writer. That's their job. And that, and there's a whole lot of ego when it comes to a director saying, you hired me as a director, let me do my job. So you as the writer have to make sure that you write it so that the director kind of has the vision that you have without writing a book, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I understand. I understand because I write screenplays.
Gotcha. Okay. So you understand then, so you have to be creative when writing your script, but you can't tell. I mean, they don't even like if as the writer, sometimes you say you want the camera to pan close across a tombstone to see, and you can't. They don't like you to do that. Mm-hmm. So you have to be creative and just kind of say in the cemetery, I guess I'm using as an example, in the cemetery, and he's visiting a tombstone. So now the director needs to understand, well, what is he seeing? He's talking to the tombstone. Now, in his mind, he needs to know, well, we need to know the characters need to know whose tombstone is it. Mm-hmm. You need to work with the director and not try to tell the director what to do, and make sure you guys are on the same page. So
so like in that scene, I would have them say like, something about, I couldn't, I placed the flower so close to the tombstone because you're so close to my heart. And once you write that in the script, they have no choice but to go close to the tombstone.
Right. There you go. You gotta
force a hand. You gotta force a hand.
You gotta be, like you said, you gotta be creative in doing it. Instead of telling them what to do, you gotta write it so that they understand what you mean.
Look, I always write it so that the character says it, so then it has to be interpreted in some way. Unless, of course, they strike my line, which I absolutely deal with that. Oh my goodness! Like, I thought editors were horrible, but when they're like, "No, it doesn't work," in my scheme, I'm like, "What? I'm sorry, it doesn't work in your what now?"
Yeah,
this is my vision.
I've been writing books for so long, and I've had stuff written out, taken out. You have to get a thick skin when you write. Whether it's editors, whether your lines get cut, you have to get thick skin. You really do.
I'm laughing at Winona because she hates it. It's so funny.
Yeah.
This editor, we love her. Winona had written like 2 pages of this.
It was 3 pages.
3 pages of this flowery description.
Mm-hmm.
And she just erased all 3 pages. Not needed. Wow. Like, you set up the scene. It was fine. You didn't have to go in like that. And she just cut it.
It went down to
thinking you were being so philosophical and eloquent, and she just
cut it.
I've had my feelings hurt before.
But she's been my editor since I was 10 years old, because I first published my first thing when I was 10.
Gotcha.
And so she's been my editor since I was 10. She's retiring now. I still, to this day, every time I see her, I go, "Excuse me, ma'am. Do you remember the day?"
And she's like, "Oh yes." And it was too long, and nobody wanted to read all of that. So I cut it.
It was right, because I re-released the book with it, and people complained. So she was right. She was right. But it irks my nerves.
I'm laughing so hard because it's so true. And so a lot of times it'll go from the editor's hands to my hands. And I'm like, okay, this works. Yeah, I see why they cut it. It needs to be cut. It is what it is. Deal with it.
I mean, they got to do their job too. And that's why you hire them,
Yes, yes.
We don't like it. And it don't feel too good, but we do it anyway. We gotta let them do their job.
Okay, so we're going on to films. I'm staying on my film section because I am in love with the idea of films. So if your films come out, what star would you want to play? Everyone.
So there's this guy, and I don't know if you guys have seen him or heard of him. He's an independent actor. He hasn't done anything major, but he would be like the perfect protagonist in my film that I'm talking about doing. His name is Travis Cure. Have you guys ever heard of him?
No, but I'm about to hear from him because Google heard of him.
I want you to Google him. He was actually in an independent film that I went to a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, he would be perfect as the lead character in my movie. And he doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be my lead. He's going to be my lead. I want you guys to look at him, and I need your reaction as soon as you pull him up.
So how do you
spell his last name?
Travis, and his last name is Cure, like you cure a disease, Cure.
Okay. We're pulling him up now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, you guys, we're doing Oh, yup. Mm-hmm. Oh.
I'm not a huge black guy fan, but yeah.
No, you know. We like all races.
I love all races.
But
yeah.
Ooh,
yeah. Okay, anyway. Yeah, y'all Google him.
Google him.
And anyway, that's a great lead.
Yes.
Oh,
he can't actually, and I saw him in another film, and I'm like, he would do well. I think he could handle all of the emotional elements that come along to this film, and he has the perfect look because my lead character is a police officer, so he has the build, he has the look, he's just perfect.
He is fantastic.
On just the surface, he's perfect. I haven't delved deep into the acting, but he's perfect on the surface. Anyway, moving on. We need to know where we can find your books and possibly the future movies. Oh, wait, and Winona, I need to know if I'm coming to the premiere because I'm a narcissist like that and I need to buy a dress.
Well, of course, I will invite you, ladies. You know you'll be there.
Yay!
You know you will be there.
That means you have to come to our premiere.
That's right.
And we have one. We'll see.
You will. We're going to put all in the universe. We'll be having premieres back to back.
Absolutely.
All right, Jade, wrap us up. Oh, wait, where can we find you?
Wait, where can people find you, and then what's next?
All right, so all of my books are on Amazon.com. Everything's listed under my name, Lakesa Cox. A lot of people want to put an H in my name, but there's no H. It's Lakesa. Last name Cox. Also, my website, LakesaCox.com. You can find all of my work there. And I will, my plans for this year, I have a couple of book events coming up. I'll actually be in Hampton, Virginia tomorrow at the literary
Hampton Book Fest.
Yep, Hampton Book Fest. I'll be there tomorrow. I will be at the bar event down in Maryland in September. I think it's September, October. And then I'm trying to pick up another something for this summer in between vacation and working on some other scripts and other books that I'm trying to release. Working on trying to get this children's book out, of course. And then I have another novella that I'm going to be working on, trying to get that out in the next 2 months or so.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
Wow, she's a busy lady.
She's a busy lady.
She's doing better. Wait. She's doing better than us on the writing spectrum, though.
Yeah,
because we only doing 2 books this year. That's it.
That is it. Thank you so much for joining us on our show, Ms. Cox. And you can always, as always, find out what your ladies are doing on www.andwethought. You know what, no. One time. Can you let me wrap up one time without your fingers? We were shooting up in the air, talking about you have something to say. Just one time. And I had my professional voice on and everything.
Okay, professional.
Okay. Find out what your ladies are doing on www.andwethought.com. We'll know.
Oh, you guys, I just want to announce it again.
No.
Put
your finger down. No, we're not announcing anything today besides possibly a chance of us writing a book. How about that?
Yeah, that's true. It'll be out in June because we're halfway done now.
Yay! Editor time. So, thank you so much for joining us. And as always, you guys remember that wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Winona
and Jade. Bye-bye.